Okay, I think we're rolling. Slideshow. There we go. I apologize. This is my first year using a Mac, and then the first time I've recorded over a PowerPoint, I'm in a place where I don't have a space to project my presentation, so I had to go this route. But hopefully after this, for my next study, I'll be back on into my auditorium. So this is one of two of my dissertation studies, the effects of chronic branched-chain amino acid supplementation on running kinematics. This was a single case research design. So branched-chain amino acid supplementation studies, there's typically two claims from marketing companies. Either they claim that, or both, they claim that branched-chain amino acids reduce muscular soreness and improve recovery, and or that they improve measures of central fatigue, such as mental clarity, focus, and things like that. This study is going to focus more on the peripheral fatigue side of things, so muscle soreness, and more specifically, research has shown that branched-chain amino acids can reduce symptoms of exercise-induced muscle damage and fatigue. I touched a lot on this in my lit review, so just to quickly recap, that supplementation can also spare muscle glycogen, decrease the rate of amino acid oxidation, decrease muscle protein breakdown, increase muscle protein synthesis, which then may enhance muscle power output. And all of these ultimately refer back to the increased recovery and then possibly enhanced endurance, adaptation, and performance. So this study is going to focus primarily on measures of running economy, which then can relate back to performance and distance runners. So running economy, there are so many different factors that influence it among individuals, such as training, environment, physiology, biomechanics, and anthropometry. Specifically in this study, we chose some various running kinematics to use as our fatigue index. Specifically during a constant-paced 5K training run between chronic conditions of branched-chain amino acid supplementation or a placebo. So under biomechanics, you can see in this diagram, there's mechanical factors and ground reaction forces. We chose running kinematics, specifically ground contact time, flight time, and vertical oscillation during a constant-paced 5K training run in a trained ultra-endurance runner while he was on the supplement or a placebo. So our methods, we had one well-trained ultra-endurance runner who followed 3 10-day cycles of an AB design, so a reversal design, for 6 total cycles, consuming either a branched-chain amino acid drink, which was the supplement, or a placebo, surrounding daily key workouts leading up to a 50-mile trail race. We tested the manufacturer recommended dosage of 0.08 grams of branched-chain amino acids per kilogram of body weight per day. And then as you can see here, based on this individual's body weight, these were the amounts that he actually consumed per day. So pre-workout drink contained 2.3 grams of branched-chain amino acids and a total of 6.8 grams of amino acids. And his post-workout drink contained 1.2 grams of branched-chain amino acids and 3.5 grams of amino acids. So total per day, he was consuming 3.5 grams of branched-chain amino acids and 10.3 grams of amino acids. On conditions when he was consuming the placebo was isocaloric and flavor matched, so really hard to tell the difference. Here's an example of what one 10-day cycle looked like. So you could see there was a pre-workout drink, his run or workout, and then a post-workout drink. So he did this daily for 10 days, and then the next 10 days was different condition. Oh, I should say, I didn't put on here. We didn't necessarily do AB, AB. We sometimes did like AA, B, BB, A, just so that he wasn't always on the supplement during his hardest training weeks. So we kind of looked at his microcycles to make sure that those were also varied. So, let me play a little video. Maybe. I'll have to fix that. Anyways, get that to work for the actual defense. So during each 10-day training cycle, the athlete on a daily basis consumed either the supplement or a placebo. And he also completed a 5-kilometer run on an outdoor track at a 6:30 minute per mile pace. This was his lab-tested marathon pace, so we did some velocity at VO2 max testing to determine different training paces for this athlete. You can see here there's 2 orange cones, so he measured and marked a 10-meter capture zone demarcated by these orange cones, and that was used for video recording and analysis. We used Canovia open source software to do the analysis, so clip by clip for each video. And with Canovia, we measured running kinematic variables such as ground contact time, flight time, and vertical oscillation. And you'll see those abbreviations, GCT, FT, and VO. For analysis, we used the Tau-U single case research technique to observe the effect that each condition had on those 3 running kinematics, ground contact time, flight time, and vertical oscillation. The Tau-U effect size represented a percentage of non-overlap between phases, and so basically percent difference, or percent mean difference, and that was described as percent effectiveness of the branched chain amino acid condition. Okay, sorry. So results, we had some interesting results. We found that vertical oscillation during the constant pace track runs were significantly reduced by 13% while on the supplement. So here we have the supplement versus the placebo for the 3 running kinematic variables. And then I always like to put percent difference just to put those numbers in a little bit more of a practical visual. So 13% decreased vertical oscillation while on the supplement. Statistical significance was not achieved for differences in ground contact time and flight time, so no statistical significance there. When looking at the weighted Tau-U, so you have the Tau-U score for each running kinematic variable, and then you can also do a weighted score. The weighted Tau-U basically showed that the branched chain amino acid supplement was overall 11% effective in improving measures of running kinematics. While a reduction in flight time was not statistically significant, we still saw an 8% decrease or an 8% improvement while on the supplement. So a few more visuals here. Vertical oscillation for this running kinematic variable. So we saw a reduction in wasteful vertical motion during the constant paced 5K run when the athlete was on the supplement. And this was measured by the distance of vertical displacement of the center of mass. Since this was done through video analysis, so we didn't have like biomechanical reflective markers, I used his ear as a marker because that using his torso was tricky because runners typically rotate a little bit. So I used his ear to measure basically the up and down motion of each stride. And we saw a 13% reduction in wasteful vertical motion while on the supplement. So that was interesting. Flight time, we did not find statistical significance for this, but the athlete still had an 8% reduction in flight time, meaning that he spent less time in the air for each running stride. Ground contact time, we actually saw 2% faster ground contact time while on the placebo. These differences were non-significant and could be measurement error or just natural running variation. So don't have a lot to say there as far as an explanation. Maybe just measurement error. Also with that, I should say this could also be an error in the frame per second. Just the video clips weren't quite fast enough, so it very well could be measurement error. A few points about all of this. Based on the research, we know that more economical runners exhibit less vertical oscillation, and that this can contribute to a significant amount of variability in running economy, up to about 36%. But again, the more economical runners use less wasteful vertical motion. Our study showed a statistically significant difference in vertical oscillation when the runner was on the supplement versus the placebo. Based on the research, I tried to find reasons why this might happen. This could possibly indicate a greater co-activation between two joint muscles of the leg during the stance phase. So stance phase is when the foot is firmly planted on the ground and about to swing through for the next stride. This could allow the neuromuscular system to transfer joint rotations more efficiently into the desired external forces and provides greater stability to the runner during ground contact, reducing potentially wasteful vertical motion. Sorry, my sister's cat is getting on here. Get out of here. These improvements in muscle mechanics could be related, again, to the greater recovery aspect of branched-chain amino acid supplementation. So possibly he experienced greater muscle protein recovery surrounding his training sessions as a result of increased nutrient availability. And again, this could be fatigue mitigation, allowing the runner to express greater preparedness to train. So since our runner exhibited less vertical oscillation while on the branched-chain amino acid supplement, we can possibly say, not definitively, but possibly say that greater muscle recovery was underpinned by changes in muscle protein synthesis because of increased nutrient availability. And that can contribute to an improved running economy or a reduction in aerobic demand for a given task. Couple limitations. Further research, obviously this is a single case research design, and where running economy has so much individual variability, we really can't distribute this to the greater population. And it would be interesting to repeat the study using force measurements, since we just did video measurements. Since we were away, we did video analysis as opposed to using the OptiJump, so I would recommend using the OptiJump next time. And that is all. I have a bunch of references. Wow. Yep, there we go. And then there's my next study, so we'll talk about that next time.